Yeah, I found myself at Bornikope near the Adan Songo Lagoon, a community in Adan Songo Lagoon. So this is the Songo that we can see at the background. That is the Songo Lagoon. Now it rains, and then the community actually submerged with what? With water. So the question is, why? Has this happened before? And then what we keep saying is what? Is no. Now the reason why our community has now submerged is that when it rains, we have a stream called the Zano. So water normally passes through the Zano, and there is an entrance over there, which I'll be getting there soon, to point out to the entire Adan in Ghana to see. That entrance has been blocked for the creation of this canal. Now, the intention is that the company, which is Electrochem, don't want rainwater to get into the lagoon. And as you can see, the lagoon is not up to full capacity yet. The water we are seeing is not a rainwater, but a seawater that was introduced into the lagoon. So we have a whole portion of the lagoon that is yet to be taken with what? With the rainwater. Now, this water we are seeing here is actually supposed to get into the Songo Lagoon, but the inlet has been blocked. So we can see the whole of this place become flooded full, and then the water forces its way into the lagoon. Nature is something that we cannot change. No matter the modernization you infect with nature, you can't change nature. So the water from this canal forces itself and it gets into the Songo Lagoon, thereby washing this particular road. So currently, we were told that the galamsey activities of the native is actually causing the river or the lagoon to silt up with sand. But as it stands now, this huge sand is being washed into the lagoon. So the whole mud now, the activities of the company is rather trying to silt the lagoon with sand, but not the indigenous work, their daily works they do per se. So still we have this water. This huge volume of water is supposed to get into the Songo Lagoon, but this canal is blocking it from doing so. Now, we expect this canal to be to be channeled into the Songo Lagoon, but that is not the case. The intention is to create this canal to pass beside the Songo Lagoon to Tofloko. So this water is prevented from entering the lagoon. It is this same very water that when it comes, pile up and couldn't get a space, it gets into the community. So we can see the community far behind. That is the houses there. That is the Bornikope Community. So when the rainwater passes through a stream known as Zanom to this area, and then it's supposed to enter the Songo Lagoon at the very point we are seeing, but because of, so it passes through that end and then gets into the Songo Lagoon, but that place has been blocked by this heap of sand. So currently the water cannot pass, but I have to pass through the canal that was being created. So when the canal began full and the water couldn't get space again, it forces itself by trying to find its way. Some gets into the lagoon at this point. As we can see, this place has been damaged by water. It has been eroded, and the rest gets their way back into the community. So I'm still touring the area. This water is supposed to get into the lagoon. By now, the lagoon would have been been filled with with water. But the company thinks otherwise. They want the sea water in the lagoon, but not the rain water. So in doing so, the rainwater, through some machination, it is being made to say gets into the community, because if the water find no way to pass, it ends up getting into the community. So that is the canal there, and we can see the water at the background. So water can no longer enter into the Songo Lagoon, but have to pass through this huge canal there. There is an extension to the other side. So that is what is happening. So now 3 days ago, the whole of this area is flooded with with water because of this activity. So now that is the canal. Water is not supposed to enter the lagoon again. I'm still touring, and then I have to get to the initial inlet of water when it rains. So this is what is currently happening now. So we are trying to let the whole world understand why we are saying communities here are at the verge of being submerged with water by the activities of Electrochem. Our case is far different from what was experienced in Wokumagbe and then the coastal area. This is not a coastal community. We are in the middle belt of Sege. So we can see that is the whole water there. So this water is just from Zanom, and it's supposed to get into the Songo Lagoon, but no, it can't get into the lagoon. So the water is passing through this canal. So when the canal gets full, it gets back into the into the community. So the flood we experienced here 3 days ago is not caused by nature, but the real cause or the remote cause is the creation of this canal that blocked the water from getting into the into the Songo Lagoon. And to date, none of the authorities, our DCE head of our CRIDE, is supposed to come, but because he cannot defend what is currently happening, just as he defends that of the coastal area not to be the activities of Electrochem, he promised to come here yesterday. We waited, but he couldn't show up. Simply because we can forecast or we can predict that when he comes here, he will definitely know that what we have experienced here is as a result of this canal or this depth trap that was created here. So because of that, he failed to to hear our cry, but we are still hoping he will by all means come, and then we shall convey our grievances to him. But in our part, as I keep saying, if Bornikope should get flooded today, it's as a result of this operational work we are seeing here. This is what in no time will sink Bornikope community, and if care is not taken, there will not be a community called Bornikope, or let's say Songonya again. And that we the indigents are not ready to witness. So we'll keep shouting until the government, the NADMO, and the other authorities, well-meaning Ghanaians, hear our cry. So still moving now. At this area, as we can see, is a canal that was here for several years now. And this canal was actually an inlet for water when it rains from this section. that is from the Zanom. But today, the question we keep asking is, can the water inside this hill escape it, pass through, and then get into the lagoon? Just as we are seeing the inlet, it moves into the lagoon, so we can see. So this is one of the inlets where water normally passes when it rains from Zanom, and then it gets into the Songo Lagoon. But today, it has been blocked. So this is one of the inlets of water into the Songo Lagoon. I have clearly shown that it has been been blocked by the company. So today, water cannot pass again. So it's the same water that is getting inside the community for us. Now, there is also an inlet at the far end there. That is one of the major inlets, the biggest of all. But today, it fails to exist again. So the whole of this area it's Zanom. The people call it Adokono when it rains. Today, the passage of the water has been blocked. So still getting to the site where we initially have an inlet of water. The intention is to use this portion where initially water passes into the Songo Lagoon into Pan. So they have diverted the course of the water way to a different location. So still moving. Still moving. Now, nature is something we cannot alterate. Now, this particular inlet has been one of the major inlets for years. As you can see, for several years, this has been there. And we see nature is trying to cause it to open, because water knows its roots. Today it has been blocked. And that is what we can see there. This is the initial. So the company have actually tried to open up a space there for some few water to just pass through this area. And that is what is forcing to get here. This has actually been one of our major water inlets into the Songo Lagoon. And it has been here for decades. It has been here for decades. But today, it's supposed to come direct. But it has been blocked at the junction we are seeing there. It has been blocked. So we can see the heap of sand there. And then when they realize water is taking the communities, they just open a small portion for some volume of water to just pass through it and then and get here. It is so funny, but one thing we must know is that we can do everything possible in our power, but what God has put, nobody can change it. Water knows its course. No matter the modernization we put into this, still water will definitely know its route, and that is what is happening. So this has been our major inlet into the Songo Lagoon when it rains. But today we can see they have actually made a road here. We expect them to at least put a bridge here, and that would have solved the problem. But no, they didn't do it because they know best.